On this channel, we talk about all things home. And in today's video, we're going to talk about refrigerator cleaning, decluttering, and organizing, because we all know that the refrigerator is one of the most used appliances in any household. And it's very important to keep it organized. So I decided to try some different organization methods, bought a few things, want to see how it all works out. So how about you join me on this journey and see what we can do to improve our refrigerator management around here. To get started with this adventure, I went to Ross. I had seen some organizational things for the refrigerator and decided to get some. I saw some storage things, some sponges I kind of needed for the kitchen. Didn't know if I'd need to do some heavy duty cleaning or not, so I tried this Scrub Daddy I've been hearing a lot about, and just some other scouring pads and sponges. But the main thing I was there for were these organizing bins that were going to help me keep everything organized. And it was on sale. I like things that are on sale. I'm just kind of addicted to it. But I was happy to kind of find the bins that I was looking for to make sure that putting this refrigerator back together would be done with ease. And I was really excited about my little egg carrier as well. So let's see how this all works out. So we have everything here back at the house, ready to get started. I get so excited about the containers, looking at the fact that, hey, one of them is for the closet, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. But enough of looking at this stuff, time to get to the grunt work. All right, guys, so let's talk about what we've accomplished so far. As you can see, the refrigerator is all cleared out and cleaned. So I went through, sprayed it with my Lysol all-purpose cleaner, which I do like to use all over the house. I wiped it down with one of those microfiber cloths, but then I went back over it with some disinfecting wipes just as an extra coat of cleanliness and disinfecting. And so this creates that clean slate for us to now decide how we're going to arrange things maybe a little differently, even using some of the features here, like how some of the shelves collapse into each other to provide for tall things, or how we're really going to use our drawers, which I do have to put back. I did take those out to clean them. And what we will store up here, whether we like where these are positioned, we want to move them down or up. On both of these sides, and just see how we can get a little bit more of a functional space in our refrigerator that helps it stay clean, helps it stay organized, so that when we open it, we can get to what we need very quickly. All right, so this is going to kind of be a little trial and error. I haven't tested out what I want to do first, but let's just see what we bought and see how we can help make it a space that's just more efficient for us. All right, let's try it out. Okay, so we're going to start moving things back in and playing around with a few things. One of the things that's probably the easiest to start with are the drinks, whether it's the lemonade, which we only love Simply Lemonade in this house, really, the almond milk, the regular milk, and the orange juice that we have. So let's go ahead and move those back in. So they are a little tall, so typically we lay them on their sides. Let's get a little closer. We typically lay them on the side, but of course, you know, the only thing about laying things on the side is that sometimes if it's not on properly, it'll leak, which I hate. But these do close pretty easily, and so that works. So we'll see if we like that arrangement or if we're going to change it around. Let's bring in the milk. This is also another one of those areas where sometimes the milk kind of leaks out of this portion. I hate that when it spills. So I do sometimes put this back because it is a little tall. Sometimes it clears it without a problem. Because I do like my shelf, but I'll start this and put this one in front of it so you know which one is open, because sometimes you buy in bulk because of something you use. I hate to see multiple things open, two things, the same thing open twice. I just can't stand it. Anyway, so I think we're okay with this system. Let's keep moving. All right, so we're putting the juice and the milk, the orange juice and the milk down as well. Those seem to close pretty tightly, which is why we're okay with them being down like that. Now, let's try a little bit of our organizational materials before we start moving it. So I bought this from Ross. As you guys saw, I got everything pretty much from Ross today. This is 4 eggs, obviously. It holds 14 eggs, and we typically don't keep that many eggs on hand simply because they're so expensive. Okay, can we talk about the price of eggs? So they definitely need to be protected because we cannot afford for any accidents with these eggs. So I'm just going to rinse it out, fill this in, and put it in its appropriate place. So we have rinsed out our little egg holder here. Just gonna dry it, wash that. Of course, anything I get from the store, I make sure I wash it out before putting any of our goods in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start loading these in. Typically, we just put them in the carton in this particular spot in the refrigerator, since it's kind of the same shape, but we may be able to put it in a different spot and use the bottom for something else now that we have some protection here with this. So we're just going to transfer all of these. I actually have, I have 16 eggs. So what do we do with the other 2? I'm cheating a little bit. I don't know. Because of the way this top is situated, I actually think it'll fit. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have 16 eggs. And just drying off this top. This is what protects it from the other stuff in the refrigerator from getting cracked. And this lid just sits. Okay, so the lid does, my little hack would not allow me. I thought it was just like, I didn't think it was that deep, but it is. So we're gonna take these 2 out. Put the little lid in there, which does fit nicely. I like that, I like that. And they do have like larger sizes of these, but like I said, I just kind of wanted to accommodate what I think our family really uses. So this is always a very tricky spot in the refrigerator because of its height. So I'm actually thinking the eggs would go perfectly right there. What do you guys think? Let me bring you closer. So I'm utilizing this space, which is usually tricky because very few things are this small in height, but this is a perfect fit, and it makes it easy to kind of pull out and get what you need. So I think that's a win. All right, let's move to the next thing. All right, guys, so we're back with the rest of our organizational containers here. So what I did was I went ahead and washed them out with soap and hot water, rinse them again, wipe them down. I always do that when I get new products for the refrigerator. And so these two came together, and they were in kind of the kitchen section of the store. And while I was picking them up, there was a lady who came by. She saw me with them in my cart, and she said, well, you know, they have these in larger sizes over there in the clothes section. She said, the only thing they do is swap out the sticker. So I said, okay, let me go over there. I did, and I found this larger one, which will also work in the refrigerator. It was actually on clearance, so it was even better. But I just thought it was cool to kind of share that tip. So if you're looking for refrigerator organizational tools and you don't see a lot in the kitchen section, try the clothes section. The drawers serve the same purpose, helping you keep things separated but organized. And so that was a cool find, and thank you to that woman who shared that with me. Also picked up some of these food storage organization. As you guys know, we try to keep those plastic containers to a minimum so the cupboards don't get full. But we have recently misplaced or broken, someone broke some of them, and so it was okay for me to get this set of 5 different storage containers now. I went ahead and put those 2 extra eggs in here, closed it a little too tight, cracked an egg. Talked about how we shouldn't crack eggs, and then I cracked an egg, but we're going to move on. And so we're going to utilize this for maybe some of this food that's from the refrigerator that we don't want to put those big pots or containers back in, that we can house in here and kind of stack them neatly. So I have no rhyme or reason to how we're going to do this. We're going to access what we have on the counters, figure out what we need to throw away because it's either expired or old, and then whatever we have left, find out how we can best organize them in the refrigerator. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do it. Okay, guys, so I thought it would be good to kind of start with this section and do some sorting initially, and then we can figure out the best route for organizing everything. So this is a salad. My husband loves Olive Garden, and he went the other day and got a couple of salads, and it's been here for a few days, so it's probably spoiled at this point. Although I see that the dressing doesn't expire until April, so we'll keep the dressing, but the salad's got to go. So this is something I recognize is, after you take everything out, doing a quick perusal. Here's some grapes. They've been in the refrigerator a little while, and there's some more grapes. At this point, I don't know which grapes were here first, but they are starting to brown a little bit. I hate when fruit spoils or we don't eat them up before it goes. But I realized when I was cleaning everything out that they were in the back of the refrigerator. And out of sight, out of mind, particularly with the children, if they don't see it, they assume it's gone. And so we want to find a system where you can see what's there so that you can use it before it expires. But for now, this is got to do. I can already tell I'm going to need another bag because this one's already full. So let me grab that. Okay, so we have the one bag full. We're just going to put this right into the trash in the garage right after. Let's see what else we have that might need to be trashed here. Spinach, just bought that. I know it's still good. We like to saute the spinach, but also put it in different things like veggie eggs, or pretty much just veggie eggs, or we make the spinach with spinach. So we're going to put all of our kind of produce over here because we have a produce drawer. Broccoli, we like broccoli a lot, whether it's roasted, whether we steam it. I see we have tomatoes, 2 tomatoes. So my husband wanted salad things. I thought we were done with tomatoes. But I see we had 2 more, so we're going to combine these. And the preference will go to these because they were bought first. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. This is some leftover broccoli, which we will utilize first. Some green pepper, which I see we have here. And so another thing I see, my husband, like I said, he loves salad. He made a salad. He covered it with this plate which I just feel like that doesn't really keep the salad fresh. So we're going to try to utilize one of our containers to put the salad in. So I'm going to move that over to that counter and we'll do that together. The other thing, there's this almond butter. And this is one of those things the girls wanted to try, but then when they got it, they never really ate it. I think it's actually Caden. Calling people out. But she hasn't really eaten it, and I don't anticipate anyone else eating it. So I'm going to go ahead and toss it because even though I hate to waste things, it's also taking away space in the refrigerator for things that we actually use. So because it's been in there long enough, we're going to toss this. Okay. This is some sour cream actually used for the mashed potatoes that are in here. Freshly opened, so I know that's good. But here's another sour cream that's a little empty. We've already opened the new one. This is not worth holding on to, so we're going to let go of that one. Here is some pizza sauce. I know that this has been open way longer than the, keep refrigerated for certain days after opening. So we're going to go ahead and toss this as well. So already we are kind of narrowing things down. I know this applesauce was recently bought. We're going to keep that. So pretty much everything we have here we're going to keep. Now here are those mashed potatoes. If you check out one of my shorts, you'll see how I made these. Hubby wanted some mashed potatoes, so we whipped some up. He was anxious to eat, so when he was done, just put the pot in the fridge. But we don't like pots in the fridge because they take up too much space. Wouldn't you agree? So we're going to move that over to our organization counter, and we're going to also put that in a container. So let's do that. Okay, and then we have our strawberries. We use strawberries a lot, whether it's with us making pancakes and chopping up some fresh fruit. The girls like to make chocolate covered strawberries, which drives me nuts, by the way. But anyway, and we also use it for overnight oats. I was reading somewhere that strawberries last a lot longer when you store them in a glass container. In here. All right, so we seal that back up. I like these containers because it actually makes it easy for stacking. This is some fettuccine Alfredo with broccoli that I made yesterday. These are the types of things that we usually eat within 2 days. This will probably be gone tomorrow, but for now it goes back in the fridge. All right, so we have now eliminated all of the things that are either old, expired, or don't need to be in the fridge at all. And so we know what we need to put back in it. Oh, almost forgot this. This is something, tofu tacos we had. This is some of the leftover tofu. I know that this was a week ago. I just don't keep food beyond a week. And so we're gonna go ahead and toss this. And we're gonna put this container in the sink to be washed. I have this applesauce. My daughter likes to use this. I think we're still in good shape with this. And so we'll keep that, but we will probably put it in a smaller container because as you can see, it's really big, but there's very little in it. So let's put this in our organization station. Just realizing my mic wasn't connected, so I hope you guys heard me in the other segment, but we've moved on to this counter now. Here is a phenomenon I'm sure I'm not alone with, and that is the half, quarter sipped water bottles. I mean, they come in all shapes and sizes in terms of how much someone actually finishes in the water bottle. So typically, if we can't identify how long it's been sitting or who had it, I will just use it in the plants. But my husband tends to capture them and put them in the refrigerator, and he will actually drink them because I guess it's safe to say that someone in this house had the water bottle and, you know, we're safe to him. So we do store these in the refrigerator. Duck sauce. This is something we got from the Chinese store. We will probably find a container for these, but we do use duck sauce from time to time, and sometimes you can't find the big jar, like sometimes I have trouble, so I'll stack up one of these in case we need it. So I'll put that in our organization station for later. Okay, so these are things that typically we store in the door of the refrigerator, which we will continue to do so. I'm noticing a couple of duplicates here. That's one thing I talked about, trying to declutter and minimize what's in the fridge. I have lemon juice The only thing is, this is 100% lemon juice, and this just says lemon juice from concentrate, but it's only a little bit in here, and there's much more in here. I feel like it's okay to mix them, okay? Do you guys feel the same way? So we're gonna go ahead and consolidate this lemon juice, because we don't like to waste, and I don't feel like we're contaminating the 100% with this concentrate. There's only a little bit left in here. There we go. All right, so this will go in recycling, which I'll put over there. Ketchup will also go in the drawer. All of our condiments typically go in the drawer. And so we'll put these to the side. We have these little pieces of butter, which we'll try to neaten up, organized. And we also keep like little Chick-fil-A sauce. You know, we like these with our fries. So we'll hold on to those because sometimes, you know, we're vegetarians, my daughters and I, and we get the Morningstar Farms, like buffalo wings and their veggie chicken nuggets. And so it goes great with this Chick-fil-A sauce. So we stack up on that and keep it on hand. Have some jelly here, some soy sauce, a little bit of teriyaki sauce. I mean, and when I say a little, I mean there's barely any. Now, I don't want to throw this away because I do like to make stir fry, and I will probably make some this week. So we're going to keep this only because it's going to be a short-term keep because I have another bottle. So we'll get the rest of this and then we'll get rid of it. But ordinarily, I would say, okay, really, is this little bit worth the amount of real estate it's taking up in your refrigerator? And the answer would be no. So you have to answer these questions for yourself. I have my yogurt here, which I usually keep all my dairy in the drawer. This is some cream cheese that will also go in that drawer. And some yogurt, some cheese. So we're pretty good here. Butter. Now we do have the duplicate mayo. I have to say that we used this when we went on our Christmas cabin adventure. So we had a little small size, brought it home with us. So we have two, but typically we would not have this situation. So what I'm trying to do is get everyone to use this one up first before we move to the little one. Although I might go ahead and consolidate that. So we're going to move that to the organization station. Okay, so I think we have a good indication of what's going back in. Got our tofu here, and what we've eliminated or will consolidate. So let's move on. Everything, it's finally time to start moving things back in. Now, like I said before, I have no rhyme or reason, but I'm thinking it might be easiest to start with the doors because those won't be impacted by all our organizational tools. So let's start filling in the condiments. Ketchup, probably should buy some more. I like to put the taller ones over here because we have a lot more space in this section. Makes it easier to see things. This teriyaki we're going to use up very soon. And now we have one lemon juice. So we're doing pretty good here. I typically keep the butter up here. Do you guys do that in your house as well? So we're going to put the butter. I'm going to actually go ahead and take it out of the container here. Put that in recycling. What else are we going to do? That's pretty good. Now let's move to adding back the water. Typically we keep the water and things up here. So we're going to add back these water bottles. Like I said, some of them are actually full. Sometimes we like water cool, mostly room temperature. Well, these are a couple that somebody started but didn't finish. We put those here. Actually, my husband tries to drink those first. And then sometimes you get water, like when you go to different places and you know you're going to drink it. We keep that up here as well. And we also, you know, we like to treat ourselves with a little ting. You know, my husband's from Jamaica, and ting is one of those things that I'm happy that he introduced to our relationship. I also like the grapefruit ting, the pink grapefruit. Anyway, so we usually keep these here few at a time. We've already had a couple, so those are done there. So we're looking pretty good. I think it's now time to deal with our drawers that include our vegetables. So we're going to grab those from over here, which we have the lettuce and the spinach. I find that the spinach does really well staying in the plastic. And so I usually keep them in here, but if you guys do something different with your spinach to preserve it, let me know. Same thing with the lettuce. I like to keep it covered with the plastic. It tends to stay longer, keep longer than when I take it out of the plastic. So this thing has the humidity control, which is supposed to be particularly good for fruit and vegetables. So although I don't really adjust it, I kind of left it defaulted. But we're going to put all of our veggies in here. Let me get that broccoli. And we have lots of lettuce because I feel like sometimes lettuce runs out quickly between sandwiches and salads, which is, I guess, is a good thing. So we have 2 things of lettuce. I usually don't have 2 at once. And then we have our cucumber. We have our green peppers, which I'm going to take this out. Green peppers. And I like to take things out sometimes so that they can be seen, whereas the others are a little bit more transparent. And then we have green pepper that was cut. I'm going to keep this broccoli up here since it takes up so much room. And our tomatoes. So I try not to fill this. Let me get a little closer. I try not to fill this too much to the brim because I like for everybody to be able to see what's in it. Because this is lettuce and lettuce, I'm okay, 1 in the front, 1 in the back. Green peppers, and you can see the cucumber from here. So I feel like everything is pretty visible. And so that's our veggie drawer. So when we're looking for things, the broccoli, I don't want to stuff it in there. It keeps pretty good right up there, so we're going to leave it there for now. And let's keep it rolling. I think next I want to tackle the dairy. This is that drawer. I typically put the dairy stuff in the drawer over here. Get the cheese. Okay. Like I said, I always like for us to use what's open first. So I always put that ahead of the other one. And typically I'll go ahead, since these are kind of tall bags, I'll go ahead and lay those down. So that's the cheese there. We're going to come back for the cream cheese. I was actually supposed to make something. I don't typically have as much cream cheese. I was going to make some cheesecake, which I haven't done yet. But so we have an abundance of cream cheese right now. Stack those there. Yogurt. This is a yogurt. You know, this is one of those things where Costco got me. I had one of those samples and I just really liked it. And I'm not a big yogurt person, but I like the consistency of this one. And so I buy it from time to time and eat it with some protein granola. So that's there. And then even though tofu is not dairy, I typically keep the tofu in this drawer. We usually freeze some and keep at least 1 in the refrigerator for when we really want to use it, which we usually make something with tofu at least once a week. And, oh, I have this Martinelli's, which we really should have had to drink by now. But we have not. Every time we think of an occasion, we somehow forget about it. So we're actually going to put this in here in the fridge so that we don't forget, because we'll see it. And that fits there perfectly. Okay, great. All right, and then we have this yogurt here, and typically we use the yogurt to make overnight oats. So this is all our recycling over here, so we'll get rid of that. This is some leftover butter. The mashed tates. We typically keep some of these condiments and things like that up here. There's not very many of them. Don't like to keep that cluttered. So we'll just put that there. Close that up. And we'll do something else with this butter. We got to clean this up. Okay, before we move on to our organization station, I'm going to go ahead and put this ginger ale. This is probably the only type of soda other than ting you'll see in our refrigerator. We're not big soda drinkers at all. But you know how we feel like ginger ale heals everything. So whenever someone's feeling a little woozy, I need a ginger ale, we try to have some handy. So we're actually going to move this down, put this down here. And I know they do have containers for canned sodas, but because we don't really drink it a lot, to me it wasn't worth the investment for us. But this fits perfectly in the fridge. I mean, they're kind of designed to fit in your refrigerator. So we'll put that over here and keep that theme of drinks being on the bottom. All right, now it's time to move to our organization station so we can get the rest of the stuff in the refrigerator. So let's do it. All right, guys, so this is our organization station, as I've nicknamed it, and we're just going to try to consolidate some things. The first thing we wanted to do was to take this salad and put it into a container. Sometimes it's kind of tricky determining what will fit in what. But looking at this bowl, looking at this, I think this will fit in here because I think I want the mashed potatoes that we're also going to put in a container to go in here. So let's see if that works. So we're just going to take this salad that my husband made. Although I really feel like mashed potatoes will pack down better in something like this. But I'm going to go for my instincts. So we're transferring the salad here, which was really lettuce heavy at the bottom. But I think we're going to be okay with this container. So this is something we can wash. It takes up less space in the refrigerator. And also will keep the salad a little longer. And so I'm going to go there. We already washed these, so they're good to go. So that's done. We made light work of the salad. Of course, you can see through, so my husband will, although he'll be looking for his bowl, this will be in its place. So we're done with that. Moving right on to the mashed potatoes. We're going to just simply transfer them from this large pot right into this container. And once again, this is a big difference in terms of size for a refrigerator to accommodate this as opposed to this pot. I know I used to do those little tricks where I didn't want to wash the dishes and I just put the whole pot in the refrigerator. But well, that's not what we're trying to do right now. So I think I made the wise choice. The counters have been wiped, so it's okay to put this in there. And those are the mashed potatoes. These items will go to be washed. So far, we've made a big difference with storing this food in the containers, and they kind of stack nicely on top of each other. So the other thing I was going to try is this duck sauce. I have them in a plastic bag currently. Want to see if they can fit in this nice container. And I think I called it correctly. So this will fit perfectly with that where the butter is and the other sauce. So that was a good call there. Now we're going to move on to this applesauce, which I thought might be perfect to put in here because it's such a big container, but there's really not much of it left. So we're really just going to shake the applesauce right in here. Probably could have used a smaller container, but since this is the only one I have left, I'm going to make it work. Shake it out, shake it out. Did pretty good with that. Of course, I recommend using a spoon, but all right, so we're good with that. We'll recycle this. And so now we have the applesauce in here. See how quickly we were able to put all of these things in a container. And now we can finish doing our refrigerator. Oops, I almost forgot. You guys, let me forget. This mayonnaise. So we have a big one and a small one. What we're going to do actually, and I'm going to get a fresh spoon, is we're going to put the big one into the little one because there's not much left in here and it's better to have a smaller container than a larger one. Okay, so I probably should have gotten a taller spoon, but we're not dealing with much. And so it's okay to consolidate multiples in your refrigerator because if you don't, if you're like my family, they'll continue to use both and neither one will ever end. So there's only one option. they'll go for that option. So there's that container. Get as much of it out as possible. We'll rinse that out and it will go in recycling as well. But ladies and gentlemen, look how much we have consolidated. Let's see what's going to happen with what we put in these containers. All right, guys, it's time to now move in the rest of the things that we've organized and figure out how we're going to utilize these containers. So we have our consolidated mayo here, which will fit here. I mean, it's nice and stuck, but it's okay. We have our containers. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the smaller container up there, put the salad there by the broccoli, the mashed potatoes there. This is the duck sauce. I'm going to put that up there. The eggs, the extra eggs. Since we want to use those first, we'll put those right in front of the container. Make sure they're safe. All right, and now we have these bins left. We have this one, which we may put down here. And we have the two identical ones, which may work well up here. And so let's see how this works out. Okay, guys, we're working on this together. We have another one of my husband's Jamaican favorites, supplegen. That's going over there. This is some spreadable butter, which I'm going to try to keep all the butter together. So we're going to fit that up here. Rearrange some stuff here. Come on, butter, move on over. Okay. But maybe not. Maybe this will be one of our containers here. This is some soup. You know, I don't like the stickers on here. I don't like to see that. I'm going to turn it around for now until we get it off. Some soup. I like this Panera Bread broccoli cheddar soup. Probably not the healthiest, but when you need to grab lunch. Sour cream, condiment that we use since we have the butter there. Thinking we can keep the sour cream in here as well. My daughter's applesauce for school. We have that applesauce. I'm actually going to stack it there. Applesauce with applesauce. And these are our containers, which makes me say maybe I should move. Help me out, guys. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe move the larger one up here. Put the fruit, the leftovers here. Okay, how are we looking? Pretty good, pretty good. We're almost done. We have some blueberries because we like strawberries and blueberries together. So we're gonna put the blueberries up here. I just hope the strawberries don't get lost back there. What if we put the strawberries up here? So we got the strawberries and the blueberries together, and we're talking about how we use things. We typically chop our strawberries and blueberries, put them together. So let's keep them together in the fridge. And this is kind of leftover food. So I'm trying to create themes so that when we're looking for things, we know exactly where to go. And so that's there. For this applesauce now, we're going to, since this is pretty empty back here, we're going to put the applesauce there. You can still see what it is. We're going to even put that container, if it will fit, which it does not fit. Sometimes it doesn't fit. We're going to see about putting that right here. Okay. All right. So far, so good. And then we have this yogurt that we typically use for smoothies. And we generally keep that right down here. So this is a space, guys, I haven't even utilized yet. Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of space. Now, because of the decluttering and organization, I have a whole drawer that's not used. So I'm happy about this already. This is why cleaning and organizing your refrigerator works. Even having this space. makes me excited because I just hate wasting things. And so being able to see everything in the refrigerator makes me more likely to use the things before they spoil, and also be able to access quickly what we need in the house that we don't have already. So I have this yogurt here. Like I said, I typically keep it down here, but for the sake of kind of keeping everything visible, we're going to move these up here. Actually, so these bins, they help to keep things together, but they're not the largest. So you have to consider that when you're organizing different things. So I don't like these being separate. So we're actually going to move this over here, this over here. So all our yogurt is together, and our broccoli soup, our sour cream, and our butter are back there, and our fruit is in this bin. So I think we are pretty much done. Here's a banana my daughter uses, so we'll put that in the fruit bin. She'll use that in either a smoothie. I see I have one more yogurt, which we're okay with stacking. And I think we're actually pretty good here. I'm going to move this applesauce up here so my daughter can see that it's now in here. And there we have it, folks. Let's take a look, see what we think. All right, let's start over here. We have our butter in here. I put the smaller pieces up front so we can utilize those first. We have our condiments here. Oops. Sorry, Chick-fil-A sauce down, which is our duck sauce, our Chick-fil-A sauce. We try not to keep that full. We have one little mayo left there. That's good. All of our condiments here, easy access, easy to find, easy to see. We have our bins here, keep our fruit all together up here. We keep kind of our dairy condiments, a little soup up here. Some yogurt and applesauce together there. And then this is kind of our leftovers. We have our eggs in our new container that fits perfectly there. We have the broccoli salad, leftover mashed potatoes, leftover applesauce, and then some fettuccine alfredo. And then all of our drinks are stored down here. And this is our veggie drawer. This is where we go for salad stuff, veggies. And this is in the dairy drawer where we go for cheese, tofu, other yogurt. This is an empty drawer, which, trust me, we'll find a way to fill. This is our leftover water bottles or cooled water, and some drinks when we fill that up. So I'd say that this was a pretty successful organization. We're not going to even look at that freezer today, but we are going to clean the outside of the refrigerator as our finishing touch. But I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. I hope it inspired you to maybe look at your refrigerator, clean it out, declutter it. It certainly was refreshing for me, and I hope the family will appreciate it. Not only appreciate it, but keep it this way. Gentlemen, I hope you have been inspired, as I said before, to organize and clean your refrigerator. The more organized we are, the more decluttered we are, the more minimal we are, the easier life can be for us sometimes. And so one of the most popular places in our home is now an organized place where people can find what they need quickly, where we can make sure we're not wasting food because we use it, because we can see it. And so very pleased with the final results. So we'll see what we're going to organize, declutter, and clean next. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.